Welcome to FSE News for March 2025. For today's announcements, the first 20 new airports have been added to Flight Sim Economy. Here's the details.
20 new airports are now active in the FSE database. The main goal in selecting these airports was to close the gap for smaller aircraft attempting to ferry the North Pacific route and Oceania Islands, as well as adding a mid-distance crossing to the North and South Atlantic, and filling in large gaps in mostly vacant FSE Russia and China. You can find a complete list of all the first 20 new airports at www.sequoiaflightschool.com/new20. You can find an interactive map of the 20 new airports superimposed on a map of current FSE airports at www.sequoiaflightschool.com/new20map. The main intent of new airports, at first, will be to fill in portions of the FSE game world in which there are large gaps between FSE airports in areas where large gaps do not exist in the real world. Only real-world airports will be considered on a case-by-case basis for adding into the FSE game world. Once these areas are more filled in, other real-world airports, which do not exist in the FSE game world, will be considered on a case-by-case basis. New airport usage. When a new FSE airport is added to the airport database, it will be available for use immediately. It will begin generating system assignments for which the airport qualifies based on existing assignment template parameters. If the airport meets FSE requirements for providing local market, fuel, maintenance, or commodities, then those will be available immediately. All newly added airports will have each individual FBO lot immediately occupied by a bank-owned FBO in a closed state. Players will not have access to build an FBO. This replicates the current process of a foreclosed player FBO being taken over by the Bank of FSE. A one-lot airport will have a single FBO. A two-lot airport will have two individual FBOs. And a three-lot airport will have three individual FBOs. These FBOs will not have passenger terminals, nor maintenance facilities attached. These FBOs will go into a future FBO lottery cycle, the same as if they were a player foreclosed FBO. This might be the very next lottery cycle, or the FBOs may be delayed for multiple cycles in an effort to keep release rates low and spread out over time. If there are no bids, the FBO will be torn down and the airport lot will become available to be built on by any player. See the complete airport database update policy announcement at www.sequoiaflightschool.com/update-policy. In the month of February, 1,295 pilots flew 41,285 flights to 8,420 airports, delivering 234,997 assignments, and flying 7,087,747 miles over 34,080 hours. KAMN was the airport with the most operations, with 763, and KLG had the most pilots with 71. You can see the full FSE Black Box report at www.fsenews.com/bbfeb.
FS Economy's 2020 Hindsight Contest celebrating 20 years of FSE has ended successfully, and all the planes and the grand prize airport have been awarded.
Thanks to all of the pilots who participated in the FSE 2020 Hindsight Contest. 140 pilots completed 995 flight legs for this contest. Drawings for the airplanes have been made, and after a fresh 100-hour service, all planes have been transferred to their new owners. You can see the complete listing of planes with the winners at www.fsenews.com/2020 winners. The grand prize airport was YSWS, Western Sydney International Airport in Australia, won by Roscoe Head. Western Sydney International Airport now open for business. RAC Air is proud to announce the grand opening of their FBO at the newly opened Western Sydney International Airport. To celebrate the opening, we are offering cheap 100LL and Jetta at only $1 per gallon. You can also get repairs and avionics installation at cost. But hurry, it's only for a limited time. Note that MSFS users can find custom scenery at flightsim.to, and X-Plane users can find it at xplane.org. For those unaware, in real life YSWS is not slated to open until next year, although the first runway is complete, and has welcomed at least one flight already. And will be named after Nancy Bird Walton, a great Australian pioneer of aviation. Welcome to Western Sydney International.
Destinations is a look at interesting places in the simulator world, brought to you by Barry X-Plane Baz Roberts.
High terrain, a steep mountain adjacent to the airport and rapid changes of weather. Sounds challenging? Welcome to Destinations. Departure at Kathmandu can be tricky as seen in the standard instrument departure charts, and once underway the views are amazing. We have 8 passengers on board for our 260 nautical mile flight along the spectacular Himalayas, with glimpses of Mount Everest from Kathmandu in Nepal to Paro in Bhutan. Our aircraft today is my Embraer Phenom 300, usually based in Northern Australia. If you are looking to rent an aircraft locally, there are around 15 in the area, ranging from small light aircraft to helicopters and even a Dash 8 300. At least there was at the time I prepared this. Our destination, the Kingdom of Bhutan, is a small, mountainous, landlocked country in South Asia, located in the eastern Himalayas, bordered by India and China. Carefully planning your arrival into Paro Valley is a must. The RNAV instrument approach will have you winding your way around spectacular mountains, either for runway 15 or 33. If you have a ground proximity warning system, best to turn it off and avoid the distraction, as in the real world. The runway at Paro is 2,265 metres or 7,430 feet long, and it's at an elevation of 7,364 feet. As you exit from the aircraft, breathe in the freshest, most pure air anywhere in the world. I'm Baz, and this is FSE Destinations.
FSE Planner is a map visualization app that allows you to display all kinds of information from FS Economy onto a world map, including available jobs with tons of filtering options, available rentable planes, available user and group planes, all FSE airports, with their landing area and corresponding MSFS airports. All MFSF airports. FSE Planner also offers a tool to find the most well-paying routes. Download FSE Planner today at www.sequoiaflightschool.com.
This month's FSE Tech Talk segment is on how to alias an aircraft for X-Plane. FSE Tech Talk is sponsored by Luros Operators, Fly KGWO.
For the March FSE Tech Talk, we're looking at aircraft alias for X-Plane. In FSE, an alias tells the FSE server what plane you want to move while allowing you to fly an entirely different model in your simulator. For example, there is no Fairchild C123 for X-Plane 11, but there is a free Fairchild C119. We can fly the C119 in the simulator, while FSE gives us credit for moving the 123 in the game world by using an alias for the C123. Setting an alias will be required in most cases, since X-Plane aircraft model designations are usually not added to the FS Economy alias database. Based on what information it detects from X-Plane, the XFSE application will propose an alias, which will likely need some amendment. The aircraft field shows the aircraft identifier, combining various information to create a unique fingerprint identifying an aircraft. It is auto-generated and cannot be modified. The alias field is edit table. Initially, the XFSE application automatically proposes the aircraft description, though this field needs to be amended to hold an alias defined in the FS Economy aircraft database. Important. After changing the alias of an aircraft, don't forget to hit the Save button. This will make your edit permanent, so the XFSE application will remember from now on, and also publish the change to other parts of the application. After having saved a new alias, it will be used when starting a flight with this aircraft.
Thanks for watching this FSE tutorial. Please be sure to like and subscribe to SFS TV to be informed of new tutorials as they arrive. KGWO, Greenwood LaFleur Hub in Mississippi currently has over 125 airports available to fly and is consistently one of the busiest airports in FSE. Repair and avionics installation prices are at 5% and fuel prices are $3.95 100 LL and $3.75 Jet A. Download a custom KGWO flight planner tool, and there's a KGWO community layer on the FSE planner to make your flights even more efficient. More information at www.lurosoperator.ovh. This month's Ground School segment is on V-Speeds. Ground School is sponsored by the Sequoia Flight School.
A brief explanation of V-Speeds. When an airplane enters a climb, excess lift needs to be developed to overcome the weight or gravity. This requirement to develop more lift results in more induced drag, which either results in decreased airspeed or an increased power setting to maintain a minimum airspeed in the climb. An airplane can only sustain a climb when there is sufficient thrust to offset increased drag. Therefore, climb rate is limited by the excess thrust available. The pilot should know the engine power settings, natural horizon pitch attitudes, and flight instrument indications that produce the following types of climb. Normal climb, performed at an airspeed recommended by the airplane manufacturer. Normal climb speed is generally higher than the airplane's best rate of climb. The additional airspeed provides for better engine cooling, greater control authority, and better visibility over the nose of the airplane. Normal climb is sometimes referred to as cruise climb. Best rate of climb, VY, produces the most altitude gained over a given amount of time. This airspeed is typically used when initially departing a runway without obstructions until it is safe to transition to a normal or cruise climb configuration. Best angle of climb, VX, performed at an airspeed that produces the most altitude gain over a given horizontal distance. The best angle of climb results in a steeper climb, although the airplane takes more time to reach the same altitude than it would at best rate of climb airspeed. The best angle of climb is used to clear obstacles, such as a strand of trees, after takeoff. It should be noted that as altitude increases, the airspeed for best angle of climb increases, and the airspeed for best rate of climb decreases. Performance charts contained in the airplane flight manual or pilot's operating handbook should be consulted to ensure that the correct airspeed is used for the desired climb profile at the given environmental conditions. There is a point at which the best angle of climb airspeed and the best rate of climb airspeed intersect. This occurs at the absolute ceiling at which the airplane is incapable of climbing any higher. Thanks for watching this episode of Sequoia Flight School Ground School.
Sequoia Flight School's Charter and Cargo Pilot's Basic Training course helps you become a better sim pilot with simple lessons and useful training missions in the Cessna 172, 182, and Cessna 208. Complete 5 simple lessons and 5 multi-leg flight missions in each category plus your check rides in order to graduate the course. See the Charter and Cargo Pilot's Basic Training course at www.sequoiaflightschool.com. Thanks for watching FSE News. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on flight sim economy and the flight simulator world.